Hi, I'm Kelly, and I really appreciate what everybody's positive comments were about the Sprowls Bread video that we made. And they asked me, or some people asked me to do the pasta. So, with the pasta, homemade fresh pasta, here are all the items that you need. It's simple. A fork, a gallon garbage bag, or garbage bag, storage bag, spatula, towel, flour, eggs, bowl, and the Imperia pasta press. Now, there are some things that we don't need right now because the first step is very easy. It requires very little effort, and that is making of the actual pasta itself. All we need is the bowl and the eggs and the flour. Oh, and the fork. Now, the easy part of this is, if it's just you eating by yourself, all you need is 1 egg and 1 cup of flour. If there are 2 people eating, then you need 2 eggs, 2 cups of flour, and on and on and on. Well, it's just me and Pam eating tonight, so we would normally make just 2 eggs, but I want to have leftovers later on, so I'm going to make this as if it were 4 people eating. Alright, all we do is we're going to take 4 eggs. Whoever came up with deciding to eat an egg, I will never know. That sounds bizarre. Comes right out of a chicken's butt. Alright, now, you mix up the 4 eggs. Done and done. My videographer is getting silly. Alright, normally what you would do is you'd use a cup, a 1 cup, but I'm a guy, so I just go like this. Because I'll know the consistency. Go ahead and bring up from above. You can come from above. There we go. You'll see in a minute that it starts to take a little bit of a shape. Similar to bread dough, but it's a little different. I've put in 2 handfuls. Here's the 3rd handful. And don't worry about that flour that falls out on the counter because we'll be using that later. See how thick it's getting now? Now, what I do is I'll take 1 more handful. And by the way, my hands are clean. And we just start kind of kneading it a little bit, kind of like the bread.
Yeah, I saw her wash his hands. So.
I did. I really did. And we're going to mix that kind of together. It's still a little bit wet, so I'm going to add just a little bit more flour. Now it's really starting to feel kind of good. This first part doesn't really take very long at all, and there is a time period where you get to let it rest, and that's a good time to have a couple of beers. Alright, it's getting kind of doughy. Got a lot on my hands, that's good. Roll it around into the flour. Say hi, Coco. Say hi, Logan. Alright, this feels pretty good. That's it. That's all you gotta do. Now, this first step is so simple. My stars. And what is it taking? 2 minutes, maybe? Alright. Now, that's going to feel pretty good. The next is easy. Watch this. We're going to take, and normally I clean my hands first, but for brevity's sake, take our dough, put it in a bag, put the air out of it. Okay. Now, what is going to happen now is we got to let it rest. It says let it rest for 1 hour. So we'll make a nice little bed here and a pillow. Isn't that nice? We're just going to let him just rest for 1 hour. I will be back in 1 hour, and then we'll get started on the next part. I'll see you then. Shh. He's been resting, but he's done now. Yeah, it's time for him to wake up. Wake up! Can you believe it's already been an hour? Anyway, this next step is very simple. It takes a little bit longer than the 2 minutes that the first part took, but that's okay. He's nice and awake. We can save this for later. I'm going to take some flour and put it on the countertop. Now, the nice thing here is we don't need to use a roller because the pasta press is going to do all the rolling we need. So therefore, we don't need no stinking roller. I'm going to put it into kind of like a rectangular position. Flatten it out a little bit. The mighty spatula. Cut it down the middle. Then I take some flour and I put it on the inside. Kind of helps keep it from sticking to each other. Then I just make little quadrants, because the next step is I'm going to put it into the press, the mighty Imperia Pasta Press. Alright, we're going to stack these little puppies up. Alright, here we go. The Imperia Pasta, which you can find at Williams-Sonoma.com. You can either order it online or they also have locations where you can buy them. There are 6 positions right here. And the first step is we're going to press it. There are 6 levels. Number 1 is the thickest. Number 6 is like paper thin. I personally prefer the 4th setting, and so does Pam, because it's kind of thin, but it's still got some width to it because we prefer the fettuccine. All right, we've got the roller ready to go. Pop that little puppy on in there. Roll it out. And there you go. So this used to be that. Now I'm going to be adding a little bit of flour to the top of it, only so that it's not sticky for the next step. It really doesn't take that long to go through this pressing process. While she keeps going past my chest. If you noticed last time, I had my Brewer High School shirt on. This time I'm wearing my Alvarado High School shirt. As a matter of fact, this was our choir shirt back in the mid-'80s. And one of my former students actually designed this shirt. And I'm very grateful for that because he did a really good job of it. And the other thing is, after all these years, I can still wear it. So that's kind of nice. All right, we've got one more to go. It's only a 2-step process, so this is pretty easy.
Pre-noodles.
All right, I'm going to add a little bit of flour to the top of it, only to kind of keep it from sticking in the next process. One of those is very important because you'll notice that in this next process you have a choice of either making fettuccine or spaghetti. We prefer the fettuccine. That's our favorite. And I'm going to show you one time making the spaghetti part. And I'm going to pick a small one here. And since it's so narrow of a cut, that one tends to stick a lot. You just put it in there, slide it out. See, it sticks a little bit. And there you have it. That's the spaghetti. It's almost angel hair. But we prefer the fettuccine part. The fettuccine is a little bit thicker. I mean wider. You can make it as thick as you want. You just put it in there. Slide it on out. What I do is I usually put it on the, I'm going to flour these a little bit more. You can, there are different ways people do this. Some of them actually have like racks that they hang the noodles on to dry, and that's totally fine. If you want to keep it for a couple of days, that's totally done a lot. But we personally, within probably 15 minutes of this videotaping, it's going to go straight into the pot, so it doesn't really matter whatsoever. So I personally don't put them on the a rack of any sort. You can also cover them loosely with a towel. That works too. So, we are on our last one. And you can see that we have spaghetti extra. That's okay. That'll get eaten. One of the nice things about the Imperia pasta machine from Williams-Sonoma.com, I don't make any money off of it, is that you don't wash them. You wipe them down real good. And so cleanup is very easy. And what I'm doing is I'm just kind of spreading these out to let them dry, at least while I'm getting ready to put on the boil of the water. What I tend to do is I'll take a cauldron and I'll put them in the cauldron, and over the sink I'll shake out the excess flour, because if you put a whole bunch of flour into a boiling pot, it'll get real frothy, and nobody likes frothy noodles. So there it is. That's how you make pasta. A guy's way. It's very easy. I hope you enjoy it. Use it on spaghetti, chicken and noodles. You can use, well, I don't have to tell you how to use pasta, but I hope you enjoy it. And thank you, Pam, for being the videographer, and for the dogs for being quiet. And peace and love.